Hey everybody, I just wanted to take a few minutes real quick and talk about the Sabe's interdimensional abilities. And I want to talk about this because I think that it's really important, and somebody brought something up to me earlier today that kind of triggered a different memory. So first of all, I have heard that there is an organization that will not present encounter stories to the public that highlight the interdimensional abilities of the Sabe. I think that's very wrong. I understand kind of where they're going with this. Maybe they want to normalize the Sabe. There's nothing normal about the Sabe. This whole thing, there's nothing normal about this whole thing. But I suspect that this is going to become normal. This is going to be part of our world. So the more prepared that we are from the beginning, the better. So I want to talk to you about Sasquatch, Ontario, Mike Patterson. Mike Patterson has an ongoing relationship with a clan of, and he says, he calls them Sasquatch, with a clan of Sasquatch that's not real close to him, I understand it, but a friend's property. Mike has had this ongoing relationship, particularly with a male. He was juvenile at one point, I guess, but it's been years. But the male's name is Neff. And Mike has some of the most amazing vocalizations from Neff. Oh my goodness, one of them, Neff says, "We love you, Mike." I'm telling you, it gave me chills, brought tears to my eyes. It was the sweetest thing. Oh my goodness, it was the sweetest thing. But one of the most important things that I think Mike and Neff bring out that we really can learn from is the fact that they have these interdimensional abilities. In one of the videos that Mike posted, Neff had put photos on a camera that Mike had left out, even though Neff had never physically touched the camera, which was really odd, but it was also so cool because Neff traveled to what he refers to as the one. And the one dimension is where the Sabe live, and they're able to travel to these other dimensions and come back into the one. And when he took this photograph for Mike, or placed the image on the camera, it almost looked like you were looking through a screen door into the area that Mike was at. So Neff had taken the photo, he told Mike, from the one. And so, like I said, you can see this like barrier between the two dimensions. Now, in my opinion, Mike and Neff have completely proven that they have interdimensional abilities. In my mind, they have completely proven that point, because Mike has even videoed pulling, where he pulled up in his car, him and his friend pulled up on a snow-covered road. If you can imagine that. They pull into this just completely blank area, nobody around. You can hear it's very wooded, it's very out in the middle of nowhere, snow covering. They get out of the vehicle, they go talk, to Neff or do whatever it is they're doing. They come back to the vehicle, and there are footprints, obviously Sabe footprints. Very, they have the mid-tarsal break. I mean, very large Sabe footprints that were beside his car, and there were none coming or none going. So they just appeared out of thin air, these footprints did, right beside his car. And I believe it was a handprint on his car also. And I have experienced that because in my bathroom, I think if you've seen this video about me finding them traces of them and also reflections of some kind of being in my bathroom. When I got out of the shower, I noticed a very large handprint on my bathroom mirror. And I thought, wow, that was kind of weird. Maybe it was my son. And I'd already measured his hand up against it. It didn't match. So then a few days later, when I'd taken a shower, I happened to be getting out and noticed a handprint on the back of the door. Now, I had not seen that handprint on the back of the door any day that I showered. I thought that was new. So I went and got my camera to take a picture of it. And as I was taking a picture of my hands up against the mirror, just to show the size comparison, in the reflection, I had little creatures, little beings showing up in a cabinet door. It was really wild. Y'all to go see the video if you haven't already. It says something like Sasquatch was in my bathroom. And these were greasy handprints too, which falls in line with the oils that are in their skin. And I'll talk to you guys about that and give you some video links for that at a later time. But I know those times when I was in the shower, there was never some great big sabe in my bathroom. I would have known that. I really feel like I would have known that if there was a great big sabe there. So I never saw it. I mean, it could have, so with the interdimensional abilities, if you think about it in that way, it could have popped through real quick, put the handprint up there, popped back out, and I would have been none the wiser, which is what happened. I have since had a discussion with them about personal privacy and the bathroom being off limits. And so far, so good. I've seen no more signs of them in there. Again, their behavior is so much different. Their social structure is different. You got to think, they don't wear clothes. We wear clothes. We cover our bodies. They don't. So I think they're just interested in seeing us and seeing what we do. But it is very disconcerting, really. So one of the other things that Mike mentions that is so cool is that him and Neff have like a marble giving, I don't know, back and forth kind of thing, I guess. But sometimes he will have marbles drop out of thin air. One drop out of thin air into his vehicle and one on the mantle in his home. So it's kind of like Neff just saying hello, most likely. And he's had this relationship with Neff and Neff's family for quite some time. And like I said, again, Neff explains that they live in the one dimension. We live in a different dimension, and there are others that live in different dimensions. And that's really important, because I bring this up because then I started thinking about the Mount St. Helens eruptions. You can look those up if you like. You can Google them on YouTube, even though I know that I've seen more than what came up on my screen. But there were stories about the government coming in and retrieving dead Sabe bodies. There was also a story that August 6, 1999, the Battle Mountain event, it was a big fire that this person observed basically a 7.5-foot Sabe that had burns on 45% of its body, and it was taken to a government facility. Now, my big question for you guys, and for myself, of course, is why? I mean, they have interdimensional abilities. I really and truly believe that with all my heart and soul. So why would they allow themselves to go to a government facility with 45% of their body burned? Why wouldn't they just go to their dimension? They have the ability to heal very well, and they know the medicinal plants as well. Also, I could understand the dead bodies, because if they were in the middle of an eruption like Mount St. Helens and they were hit out of the blue by lava, didn't know it was coming, didn't see it, which that to me rings a little sussy too, because they can feel the vibrations in the ground. So I would think that they would have, with them being so close to nature, I would think that they would have been able to feel the eruption coming on. Maybe, maybe not, but still, if they were hit by the molten lava, then that would explain them dying. But why would they allow us to treat them instead of just going back to their own dimension where they probably would get better care, to be honest? I don't know the answer to that, but it does make me wonder if those stories are true. I gotta be honest. It does make me wonder if they're true. Like I said, the deceased bodies, yeah, I get that, I believe that. But if there's a raging fire coming and you have the ability to just zip into another dimension, are you going to stay there and let the fire burn you alive? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you're going to jump into the other dimension to save yourself. I mean, that's what makes the most sense to me. And speaking of the dimensions, boy, is there a lot going on, you guys, about all of this. I watched a video from Gaia last night. It was on my watch list. I finally got to see it. And I have screenshotted that episode, and I'm going to put it at the end of the video also. But it's about the Palladians. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think I am. There is a woman who says that she is channeling these Palladians and they are giving her information. And some of it does kind of correspond with this whole idea of the interdimensional abilities of the Sabe, even though they were not mentioned during this program. She said that basically Earth is in the third dimension and everything else around us is in the fifth dimension, and that they are assisting Earth with ascension, because if we go through ascension, then we will also be in the fifth dimension. And well, that kind of makes sense, because if you notice, we're able to see these interdimensional beings now by taking photographs, at least. And some people, of course, can see them face to face. I can't see them face to face. I have to photograph them and really study the images in order to see them. But if the goal is for us to go through this ascension process and we get to the fifth reality, then all of these beings we're going to be able to see. And I gotta say, I am still genuinely concerned, not just for us, because I am concerned for people in general, but I'm also concerned for the entities that we will now be able to see. Are they going to be so scary to us that we whip out our firearms and shoot them? You know, that's a horrible thought to me. It really is. So I'm hoping that the more people we can educate about this, the more people we can tell. There's also something else that's brewing that I'm not at liberty to talk about just yet. But apparently there was something blocking our ascension, and people are working on unblocking those issues so that we can go through the ascension process. And like I said, that was on Gaia. You know, you can take from it, like Steve Ishtal says on the factsbyhowtohunt.com, Take from it what you will and leave the rest. Like I said, I'm going to screenshot Sasquatch, Ontario. Mine doesn't post a whole lot. It's like every couple of months or so. But when he does, I mean, it's really good stuff. He has great information, and I believe him. That I really and truly believe the things that he is saying. So I do hope that you will check out those videos, because I mean, they're amazing. And to hear some of these vocalizations from Neff, it's incredible. I mean, it really is. And it's everything that people have described those vocalizations to be. Everything. Like the samurai chatter. But Neff has learned a little bit of English enough to say, Mike, we love you. And I think a couple of other things too. I'm not really sure about that. But anyhow, guys, I love you. Keep up your positive attitudes and your light heart. If you can, keep your funny bones strong. And I'll see you soon. Bye.